Welcome. My name is Mark Wareski, and I'm the director of Ingram Micro's Data Capture, Point of Sale, and Payments Business Unit here in the United States. Today, I'm really excited to talk about the latest opportunities and trends in the warehouse. We know that there's a lot of things going on around what's making the warehouse a lot smarter. And a lot of organizations are upgrading their infrastructure to address all the labor shortages as well as increase their automation to gain efficiencies in the warehouse. Today, I'm joined by three subject matter experts. First, Mark Desums, who is with Honeywell. He is a vertical market manager focusing on warehouse and distribution centers. Mark, welcome. I have Bruce Harrier. Bruce is with Samsung Electronics. His subject matter expertise is around enterprise mobility for retail. Bruce, welcome. And last but not least, we have Todd Renner, HP Retail and Industry Solutions Sales Executives. Gentlemen, very excited to have you today, and thank you very much for your expertise around this topic around warehouses becoming smarter. What I would like to do is start off with you, Mark, from Honeywell. From a manufacturer and traditional auto ID data capture hardware perspective, how are warehouses getting smarter?
Well, data collection equipment is getting smarter. Um, if you think about it, workflow disruptions are a major hidden cost. I was reading an article from one of the folks who do a lot of research in our space, and it said that a typical issue, um, you lose about the worker loses about 60 to 110 minutes of lost time, and the IT folks spend about 40 to 60 minutes trying to figure out and support that issue. Another thing that I read, which was interesting, was that batteries fail to support a shift about 75% of the time. So the software that we're putting on these devices now helps prevent these workflow disruptions, and it also helps drive performance improvements. You can pull performance analysis off these terminals now. You can bird dog your network with information that the terminals are collecting. You can see drops, you can see reboots, you can see utilization analysis now off these terminals. You can get battery diagnostics. Think about it. If someone has had to reboot their handheld terminal 6 or 7 times throughout the course of the day, that's a lot of lost time. That starts to add up. That starts to get you to that 60 to 110 minutes of lost time that I talked about a second ago. And generally, what's going to happen is that worker is not going to take the time or not going to have the time to report that problem. So you really want to be able to see that problem. You want your operations people to see that problem proactively so they can address it so that it doesn't just linger and you don't have workers working with suboptimal products for an extended period of time, driving down your productivity. Same thing with battery diagnostics. Wouldn't it be great if when a worker checked out a terminal in the morning, that there was a note on the terminal saying, hey, you can't use this, the battery's not charged enough, and it would just lock up. So they'd go and force them to either replace the battery or grab a terminal that is fully charged. These are the kinds of things that you can now do with software that's loaded on these devices. You can even figure out where a device is. If it's been put down somewhere, there's location tracking tools that are loaded on devices. And it's not just giving you this information. The software tells you specifically what you want to do with it, what you should do with it. And so it's just not actionable analytics. Here's what you need to do with this information, which is really interesting. Also, you're beginning to see that these devices are really unified communication devices. Instead of just collecting data like the old days, you scan a barcode and that barcode goes somewhere. You can do push to talk. You can do messaging. You can do voice over IP calls. You can even do video calling. What a great way if there's a problem in the warehouse. Pull up ring someone up with a video call, show them exactly what you're seeing in the warehouse and have it be addressed real time without having to drag someone out to the warehouse to address that problem. So those are some of the things that are making warehouses in DC smarter from an AIDC hardware perspective.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. Hey, Bruce, when we take a look at what the consumer is looking for from a fulfillment perspective in the ever-changing market that we're in, what are some of the retailers doing to address that direct-to-consumer warehouse fulfillment operations model?
Yeah, so obviously the answer is going to vary depending on the retailer. I think the big thing that we've found is there's not a one size fits all solution. Consumer behavior, both before and after the pandemic, has changed, and it varies based on region, it varies based on demographic, it varies based on what type of merchandise the customer is shopping for. Grocery, they might do something different than they do for DIY than they would do for um, apparel purchases. The common thread is that you know again, there's not a one size fits all solution, and so some retailers are leaning into making sure that their warehouse operations are as efficient as possible. Other retailers are trying to leverage both their inventory and their staff outside of the warehouse. So whether that's converting stores to mini distribution centers, the British coined that term dark store, or whether it's um, other types of fulfillment, whether it's in store, and even in store could be buy online, pick up in store, curbside pickup, locker delivery, um, third party partnerships. There's really just a wide array. And I think the main thing that they all share in common is, when you talk about direct to consumer, it's that expectation of immediacy and that expectation of speed and accuracy that really drives solutions, and it's really about good data and good and timely data, so that you can use technology like distributed order management and predictive analytics to figure out what's the right place and the best way to fulfill customer orders so that customers happy, but also that we've delivered the goods to the customer in a way that's profitable and cost effective.
Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate that. Todd Renner from HP. So, you know, heavy focus in retail, and I know that HP is really focusing now around industry solutions. So, within smart warehousing integration with leading industry solutions, how important is it to have durable hardware throughout that particular uh, environment?
Thanks, Mark. It's very critical. There's an old commercial, late night infomercial that talked about setting it and forgetting it, and that's the way the technology's got to be in these locations so that um, they can operate 7 by 24, 365. But it's above and beyond that kind of time frame. It, they're using in environments that have sometimes they're very hot, sometimes they're very cold. They're always very dusty and dirty. Um, there's a level of stress being put on the technology, even if it's in the break room. Showing that digital signage type solution to do corporate communications that these devices need to have. So um, from the very components that go into a device to the device itself, it's got to be able to withstand um, things that we don't even see in retail, and things that can't be accomplished by just consumer grade tablets and smartphones and things of that nature. It needs to be built to a specific spec to address that kind of environment, maybe the most rugged environment of all.
Thank you, Todd. Well, here at Ingram Micro, Mark, we're seeing a lot of newer opportunities to gain efficiencies in the warehouse, IoT, 5G, AI, and what else it keeps coming up with our clients is robotics. How are warehouse robots part of the smart warehouse equation? Where is it now, and where do you think it's going to go?
Robots are coming. The vision is definitely for a fully automated warehouse that is dark and isn't as dependent upon scarce workers uh, as that we're seeing now. Honeywell sells robots. We sell robotic solutions, but there are a lot of solutions out there that can help you on that journey toward full automation. There's stepping stones toward full automation, things like voice solutions, wearable solutions. those are both solutions that move you from where you are today down that path toward full automation. And so it allows you the ability to take small steps and progress toward that ultimate goal of full automation.
Thanks, Mark. Well, Bruce, Mark teed you up pretty well here because I know Samsung has quite a few different types of solutions around wearables. Well, what role do you see from a Samsung perspective where wearables are going to fit in this warehouse altogether?
Yeah, so obviously when you think about wearables in a warehouse environment, that that word means different things to different people, and certainly wearable technology has been around for a long time and been used with great success. When you think about things like wrist computers, things of that nature, ring scanners, all those types of things have been around for a while, um, and certainly there continues to be a lot of use for that. So if you compare and contrast with robotics, and certainly people are investing in robotics in their warehouses. Um, when you think about human-led warehousing tasks, uh, you want to make sure people have both their hands free, right? That makes them as effective as possible, and so uh, we see a really strong uh, use case, a really strong value proposition for augmented reality using smart glasses and things like that to provide an augmented reality overlay so that the picker can see out of the corner of their eye what their next task is rather than having to look down at a mobile device or even a device on their wrist. But beyond just sort of the data capture, the traditional data capture perspective, we at Samsung are looking at, how can you use wearables to make the employee's life better and make the warehouse safer and make it, more efficient. And where we're interested in looking at and we're working with customers on is how can you use a smartwatch and the biometric data that the smartwatch captures, whether that's temperature, whether that's heart rate, whether that's um, gait analysis, in terms of steps. How can I use that information to um, detect, and in some cases using AI, predict where I'm going to have issues in terms of uh, employees falling or employees getting overheated or you know overtaxed, a high heart rate and things of that nature. Um, Obviously, there's a risk aversion thing. It's also just good, it's good business to treat your employees well, and so and to be mindful of their health, and so that's a really interesting proposition. But of course, the data sets that we capture as a result of that can also be used to analyze, workflow and productivity and bottlenecks where maybe people aren't moving as effectively through the warehouse as they could be. So there's really a lot of potential in that area, and it's really unlocked when everybody has a device rather than a device that somebody picks up and goes while they're picking. If it's always on them while they're on the clock, then we unlock a lot more potential than just you know pick and scan, pick and scan, pick and scan.
Thanks, Bruce. So we've been talking a lot about the data. We've talked a lot about devices, different types of devices to gain efficiencies. Todd, what about security? Should security be part of the hardware in the four walls?
Yeah, it fits in all four walls, on the ceiling, on the floor. It fits everywhere. It's something we're fighting every piece, every component, and security can be, the intentional breach kinds of things from evil agents outside of the organization, but it could be unintentional employee bringing something in. So um, we try to put as much technology in our devices as we can, using an endpoint security manager as sort of the start point. But even when you look at generic security things, most everybody's got firewalls, most everybody has antivirus kinds of software. You need to be building sort of a brick wall of protection above the OS, in the OS, and even at the bottom in the BIOS before you even get to any of those things. And HP has something called a Wolf security stack that addresses all those different levels, all those different steps for all kinds of devices throughout the organization. So something as simple as digital signage, something as more robust as a ruggedized device driving a manufacturing piece in the back, all have those components in there to address both the intentional and the intentional potential security breaches.
Thanks, Todd. And Mark, so what, in your opinion, are the top things distribution center operators are struggling with currently in today's environment? And what can our mutual partners do? What can we do to help our partners solve some of those challenges?
The thing that we hear loud and clear is hiring and keeping employees. It used to be faster orders, that are more accurate orders, but now it's clear I can't find people, and when I do, I'm having trouble keeping them. The workforce is changing. I think I read that almost over 50% of the workforce in warehouses in DCs is under the age of 35. These folks are different. They want tools that are intuitive. They want tools that are easy to use. They want tools that are purpose designed for specific applications. They want cool tools. I've got some examples here. I mean, traditionally, this has been the scanner that you use in a warehouse. Well, what if you went with something like this? Instead of having to hold and manage a device like this, you wear it. You don't even know you have it on you. It becomes part of your body. This is an example of a device that we think the younger generation is going to migrate toward. This has been the form factor for data collection handhelds in the past. We're seeing real quickly an evolution toward keyless devices like this. This is more like what they're used to. So if you got a warehouse full of this and this, maybe you want to consider bringing some extra tools into the office like this or this that resonate better with your younger workforce. It's not enough anymore to have a cool gym and a great cafeteria and a high pay. We really think that you can differentiate and help win that war to attract and retain employees with the right technologies.
So thank you very much for your time today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below for more great content. And please reach out to your Ingram Micro sales executive for further services around smart warehousing and solutions. Thank you very much again for today's time.
In a smart warehouse, efficiency and accuracy are everything. Every second counts when it comes to fulfilling orders and getting them out the door. That's why you need wireless barcode scanners that are fast, reliable, and easy to use. Star Micronics wireless 2D barcode scanners give you the freedom to move around and scan quickly and efficiently. They're lightweight and ergonomically designed for ease of use and portability, ideal for business warehouse environments. With advanced scanning technology and a long-lasting 12-hour battery, you can scan more packages in less time. Star's wireless scanners connect to your device via Bluetooth or a USB dongle. No drivers need to be installed, you simply connect and the scanners are ready to go. Star Micronics wireless scanners are the perfect solution for smart warehouses. Contact us today to learn more about how our scanners can transform your warehouse, retail, or restaurant operations.